Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again. How's everybody doing this evening? Now, it's Pro Bowl week. Cowboys out of the tournament, obviously. But there's a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to be optimistic about going forward. I know that there's a lot of fans out here really worried about, how this coaching staff is going, but I'll talk a little bit about that. So, Pro Bowl is this week. First practice today. Cowboys had 8 players in, -2, because Tyron Smith and Zach Martin are not playing. They pulled out. Zeke and Dak, they were supposed to be there today. They weren't at the practice today, but I think they flew in later this evening, so they should be there now. But this was earlier that they weren't. They weren't there for the first practice. Zeke missed his flight yesterday. I think he might have been waiting for his best friend. Now that Dak is going back to his second Pro Bowl, and so is Zeke. I think if Zeke would have played all year, the year he was suspended, this probably would have been his third Pro Bowl. But needless to say, him and his buddy are back together, so they will be there tomorrow practicing. The coaching staff is crazy because, everybody's worried about this coaching staff, but look at it like this. The offseasons technically haven't started yet because it doesn't technically start till after the Super Bowl. But for the Cowboys, it's early off season. But the coaches are busy. They're coaching the NFC side for the Pro Bowl. The front office guys, they're in Mobile, Alabama for the Senior Bowl. So the team is split right now. You got the coaches over here at the Pro Bowl in Orlando, and you got basically the media staff, the scouts, and the front office. They're all at the Senior Bowl. So everybody's split up right now. But there's been a lot of talk about the future of this team, players to sign, what this offense is going to look like, and hell, what the defense is going to look like as well. Jerry Jones said himself that we're far away from a Super Bowl. I don't believe that we're far away from a Super Bowl. I think that we need to get this team to gel as far as get the coaching staff on the same page as the players and vice versa. First order of business as far as free agency goes, they need to sign D-Law. That's first order of business. You got to lock him down. He's going to get off-season surgery for his partially torn labrum. He's going to get that together. Antoine Woods got surgery this past week on his torn labrum. Seems like all these defensive linemen had the same injuries. We had a lot of torn labrums this year. Even Cedric Wilson, the wide receiver he was out the whole year. But with that being said, at least we get to watch the Pro Bowl this week. I know some of you care about it. Some people don't care. It's basically just an all-star game. But it's important to these players to go. It's really important for Leighton Vander Esch because he's in there with Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner was basically, he looked up to him. He was the one guy that when he first got his Instagram and Twitter, he was the first guy he followed, the first football player he followed. And it's big for him to now be in the league and actually playing next to him in the Pro Bowl. Like that's got to be a good feeling for a young guy like that. And I think when we played Seattle in the wild card game, they traded jersey. So I thought that was really cool for the young boy. Shout out to Leighton Vander Esch for that. It is what it is. So, interesting story. Travis Frederick was interviewed by the local radio station. What is it? 105 The Fan or something like that. Whatever, The Fan with Skin Wade, whatever his name is. But either way, you know who I'm talking about. They basically asked him what his thoughts were about Kellen Moore and things of that nature. Now, I look at it like this. People always say, oh, well, the players aren't going to say nothing bad about a coach when they're asked about it. BS. Because you see what the wide receiver said about Linehan. You seen the little sly stuff that you heard about Linehan. Look at that. You're not going to go out blatantly bash the guy, but, a lot of players weren't asked about Linehan because they already knew it was already in the media's head. They're like, we already know how you feel about him. There's really no reason for us to ask about it. It's like beating a dead horse. But as far as Kellen Moore, Travis Frederick basically came out and raved about him. He said, you know, he was a lot of the scoring plays that we had, i.e. screens and some of the misdirection things that we did that we actually scored on were all something that Kellen Moore decided he some of his input with that. So let's not look so down on Kellen Moore. You know, we joke and say, oh, you know, blase, you know, he wasn't a great quarterback in this league and this and that. He didn't make it. How is he going to teach Dak when Dak took his spot, when he got injured, things of that nature, whatever the case may be. What did I say in the last video? I basically said that there's things that we don't know to go on behind the scenes. Obviously, the Cowboys staff brass knows Kellen Moore more than we do. You know, all I can do at this point is give the young boy a chance. You look at Mark Colombo. Mark Colombo is still not a great coordinator. I mean, but he's learning this whole coaching side too. He's been with the staff for a little while now, so he's able. That's why he got the position solely. Like, they trust him now to take over that offensive line and do his thing and implement. That's why they brought Hudson Houck back to help out Mark Colombo. You look at Kellen Moore, they brought Kitna to come in to help Dak and work with Kellen to basically get all of them on the same page to get things done. I'm just thinking optimistic here. Let's look at it on a positive side. Maybe what they're doing with this is, yes, Jason Garrett wants to keep people that he knows, but these are younger guys that both of them been quarterbacks for the Cowboys. So they know how this offense is run. They know how Garrett wants things. But at the same time, they can implement some of the younger things that they do, like the stuff that Dak likes to do. There's a reason why Dak wanted Kellen to be here. You guys forget that. Dak wanted Kellen to be here on the staff. You know, when we look at things from the outside, it doesn't look great sometimes, but you know, we're so quick to judge as fans, and you know, sometimes I do it too. But I have to stop and think sometimes, and I'll be like, you know what? Let me not be so rash. Let me stop and think about what the situation is, and maybe things will get better. Let's look. The offseason is still early. We still have time to figure out what this team is going to do with this staff. Again, the spot is not solidified yet. Jerry Jones said himself that I'm not making the full decision right now. I'm taking my time. It's still early in the offseason. They have plenty of time to do that. So as the offseason progresses, things will work its way out. And like I said, Jason Garrett knows this is his last chance. So he's going to put together, and he's going to listen to these young coaches and stuff like that and let them work with Dak. And Dak's going to have input. It's going to be a melting pot of decisions. It's not going to be just one person making a decision. It's going to be a contingency plan of everybody's hands in it. Even Sanjay Lau, the wide receiver coach, he's going to be involved in it too. Everybody's going to have their fingers in it. So I think that's going to make Amari happy. It's going to make Dak happy. It's damn sure going to make Zeke happy. And this offensive line with Mark Colombo, I think that there's good things to come about this. Let's not be so, you know, quick to just judge Kellen Moore. Let's give him a chance. Just all I say is just give him a chance. You know, I criticized him too, but, you know, I look at it like this. I sat and thought about it today when I got off of work, and I was just like, you know what? Let's just see what's going on. Because Travis Frederick is not just going to come out and just rave about him like that. You know, because normally if a player doesn't like a coach, they're not going to rave about him. They'll say something positive, but they're not going to go into detail. You see what I'm saying? He went into detail. He basically said that, hey, this guy was responsible for a lot of our scoring drives. Don't forget, he came from Boise State. And in that offense was very technical. They did a lot of creative things. And because of the thing that Kellen Moore couldn't be a quarterback, not because he was left-handed, that actually might have helped him, but the fact that he was short and he wasn't that athletic. So he wasn't a guy that was going to run around the pocket like Dak does. So, you know, you got these big guys on you can't really see. So I just look at it like that. Just put that in perspective, you guys. So like I said, with this week, the coaching staff and the front office, they're split. Everybody's busy this week. So you're not going to hear any players getting signed or anything like that. The only sound bites you're really going to get is interviews from the media, you know, from the staff. But you look at it like this. They brought John Kitna down there to Orlando already, working, and he's already talking and working with Kellen Moore. So that's already a positive. They're getting to work. So things are going to happen. As far as Chris Richard, I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully Marinelli steps down, but he's still going to be on the staff. Hopefully he steps down. Chris Richard gets in that defensive coordinator position, and hopefully someday he could be the head coach. But again, I think this team is stepping into a new generation. We have now, you're looking at the transition of us now stepping out of Tony Romo and stepping into the Dak Prescott era. So I just look at it like that. So that's pretty much all I have for you right now. I'm getting ready to go work out in my old college gear. So get my jogging and my cardio on. So just let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section. Like I said, it may not be that bad with Kellen. Let's just see how it goes. I mean, we really don't have any, we don't make decisions as fans. We just got to roll with the punches. But let's just try to stay optimistic about it. But with that said, y'all, thanks again to all my subscribers. This is your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. I'll talk to y'all next time. Have a great evening.